Well, Coach, first game of the season didn't quite go y'all's way. You had a week off. Just, what did it mean to get to come in here and get a win like that tonight?
I thought it was fantastic. I thought the kids played really well. I thought that the game plan was good. I thought the execution of the game plan was good. I thought we had a few moments that we need to eliminate. We had too many 15-yarders in there that extends drives from them or just causes some issues. But overall, I thought it was a great night for the Cougs.
You kind of mentioned how Temple's been a team you've played more than many. Have you ever beat Temple this bad before?
I don't know, but I know that they are a talented team with great athletes. And so for our kids to kind of stay the course and be able to finish drives and score some points, and really, the goal defensively was to limit their big plays, and I felt like we did that. You saw they had a few, and they had a few that they could have had, so limiting those was critical.
Go ahead.
The first 6 minutes of the game, you got number 22 Stapp. It just has like a dream start. I mean, how confident were you that he could produce tonight? But then that had to blow your expectations out of the water.
Well, we hope to go 1-0 on every series. So every time we get the ball, and not just in a trite sense, but when we get the ball, we want to score. Right. And Wilson does a great job, as a heck of a quarter, one that he'll remember a long time.
Was that a reflection of the offensive line, really,
Absolutely.
though, what he did? Because it looked like the holes were just there to be run through.
I think it was a combination of great play by our line, good decisions by the quarterback to throw when that needed to happen, to loosen the box up a little bit, and some good work over the last week that we had off to kind of get our game better to be able to produce against a pretty good defensive group in Temple.
For sure.
Yeah, Wilson hasn't gotten those kind of play like snaps, as a starter. Just what was maybe your message to him going into this game, knowing that he was going to be y'all's guy tonight?
Alex, we want to have the same message really to all of them, but they don't always receive that the same way. So it's like, hey, you're the guy. The expectations are identical to whatever the other guys would be. Now, sometimes there may be certain things that players do better than others, so you tailor the script or the game plan to them. But I got complete confidence in Wilson. Really have complete confidence in our skill position players, because when we're doing our practice stuff, it doesn't change. Like, these guys will do this set, next guys will do a very similar set. We're not going to have a letdown or a change in expectation.
Coach, what kind of growth have you seen from Arrington? Already 7 touchdown passes through 2 games. Limiting the turnovers that kind of plagued him a little bit last year. What kind of growth have you seen from him through the end of Alito last year all the way through the end of Temple so far this year?
Quite a bit. In the offseason, he worked on his technical skills, he worked on his understanding of the game, and he worked on his leadership. And I think we saw, or continue to see, all 3 of those. I thought tonight he did a pretty good job of being patient, of going through his progressions on the passing game. I love seeing him run for some yards on the sideline and be aggressive in the run game, because he does have good legs and can use that. And just his captain role and his leadership ability is really big for our offense.
In the second quarter, they had a couple of scoring drives, got back, within 9 pretty quickly. Just what'd you kind of think of the sequence, the response that y'all had? Arrington had the pop pass, and then of course the special teams play.
Sure, I think that it's really easy when we went up early for either team to have a response that's not what their coaches want to have. Like our team can have a response like, hey, here we are, let's just have fun tonight. And then you let them score a couple times, we're back in. I say let them score. They score a couple of times, and now you're like, oh, crud. And the same thing, I know Scott was making sure his team didn't have a letdown of the game from what happened very early in the game. And that's a lesson really for all of us, both teams, to take further in the season, that what goes on early doesn't necessarily define the rest of the game. And so they did get within a couple of scores and had almost a interception points perhaps that didn't materialize for them. And so they're a dangerous team, and we had to be sure to continue to play the game.
They're going to probably end up being a district title contender up in 6A. Just what do you hope you guys can take from beating a team of that kind of caliber?
Sure. I think really both of us, as we talked, Scott and I pregame, their head coach, both of us want to make each other better tonight, and we want to get better by the sharpening from the other team. So I think we schedule teams that are well coached and that are athletic and talented intentionally, and he does as well, I think. And so I definitely think Temple made us a better ball club tonight. I hope that we made them a better one as well, because ultimately, for both of us, that's what matters. Yeah, it's great to win tonight, but what matters for both of us is what we can do in district play, and then can we propel that into the postseason somehow.